session, including a call to order, pledge of allegiance, moment of silence, public service announcements. Then at 6:35, we will have a public hearing for the application filed by G&L Group LLC, DBA Trail Dusters for a new on-premises liquor license at 139 Main Street, Unit 2. Then at 6:40, we have a hearing on the petition by Craig Masterman of the Yankee Woodlands for a forest cutting plan for 25 acres of land on 7 Ladd Road, owned by Andrew and Laura McHugh. Then town administrator update, and then action items including consideration and possible action on the application for a common victualler license for Trail Dusters. Similarly, item B, a live entertainment license for Trail Dusters. And then action item C, consideration and possible action on the appeal for water and sewer connection fee for the property located at 698 Main Street, Sturbridge, by Jeremy Procon of Interstate Towing. And then item D, consideration and possible action on the proposed zoning bylaw revisions passed back as required by GLC Chapter 40A, Section 5. Consideration and possible action on the revised job description for facilities manager. Consideration and possible job application on the 2025 license renewals for certain businesses listed herein. And then G, consideration and possible action to authorize the chair to sign the contract with Ty and Bond for the Wells Park Road culvert replacement in the amount of $84,400. Then old business, new business, correspondence, approval of minutes, citizens forum, and then an executive session to discuss strategy related to pending litigation, should the chair so declare it, and then adjourn. So with that, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, I'd just like to take a moment of silence and again appreciate all the first responders who did all the hard work this weekend with all the traffic and all the accidents and everything, in the sad event in, I believe it was New Hampshire. So if you can just take a moment to think about all of their hard work, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. All right, public service announcements. Mary, you have
Yes, it's a little early, but the fire department in their truck will be driving through town December 21st. With Santa, the schedule will be posted sometime this week on the website.
Great.
Nice, Mary, getting the Christmas announcement out. I
Out of the gate.
know. I have no public announcements this evening.
Chase?
I have none, thank you.
Mary Lou?
I have none either.
Great, I have none. All right, we are 2 minutes to go. So, Robin, you want to just go into your biweekly memo?
Yep, very quickly, update on Cedar Lake. Lauren Vivier, Ken Lacey, Andrew St. George, and I met with a company about purchasing possibly an aeration system. This was something Lauren had stumbled on. Every so often, we are forced to close the beach because of bacteria in the lake. And this is a relatively affordable system. And just to keep you guys in the loop, we are looking at possibly purchasing this. We're looking into what the maintenance cost and all that would be. But I think it's about $8,000 for the system. And it rakes. It's like an aeration. It's actually an aeration, and it keeps the bacteria from settling.
Yeah, like
So we're looking into it just
fish
to,
in the tank.
yeah, it might be, given the use on that lake and how much, it will not solve the problems further up. We have met with other Cedar Lake residents that have issues. It won't hurt it, certainly, but it's not going to resolve some of the algae bloom that we see elsewhere. Those are, just a whole compilation of reasons, but it can't hurt it, and if anything, it might help a little, but it's not for that purpose. It's more for the beach side. But just to keep you in the loop on that, we'll let you know as we move forward. Walker Pond, we are scheduled to have a neighborhood meeting with residents from Walker Pond December 9th here at 4:30. This is an update on meetings we've been having with DOT regarding the wells there, the questions of arsenic in the wells related to salt coming from the Mass Pike. Some people have looked at, they're deciding whether or not they wanted to do betterments, whether DOT will do something. Some wells may be impacted by DOT, others may not be. But we are going to be presenting a couple of different options of plans that DOT has looked at. There's no funding source established for this yet. This is just simply progression on this issue. Rep. Smola is scheduled to attend as well. He's been involved with us on this throughout to try to keep the state feet to the fire, basically, and he's done a good job of that. Budget, we continue to prepare the budget. We are looking at betterment and capital now. We are estimating betterment revenues a little conservatively. I said we only have 1 quarter. We have 3 quarters. We don't have 1 quarter. That was a little bit of a typo there. We will have the final quarter by budget time, so we should update a little. And one of the challenges we're having is that we are struggling a bit to get quotes from people, because if they know we're not purchasing until July, they're hesitant to give a quote in November or December. Whereas before, we weren't getting those quotes until more like January, and they were sort of willing to give that within 6 months, but now we're longer than a 6-month out because of the change in town meeting time. We may look to, at town meeting, do a special for certain truck purchases that Heather needs to get in, because we're gonna have some major regulation changes on trucks, and there's gonna be a real run on them from all communities and DOT, frankly. So we might put some of our capital truck purchases at town meeting, but at a special, because if she does it at the special, she doesn't have to wait till July 1st. If it gets approved at the special, we then can move forward and put orders in. So we'll talk to you more as that comes, but I just want you to be prepared. We are facing some challenges with the time shift, particularly on the capital purchases right now. Property insurance, where Michelle and I are reviewing the property and casualty insurance plans. Again, always shopping for numbers instead of just sort of presuming, and once people know you have competition, it's amazing how prices go down. And finally, I just want to thank Andrew St. George did his first major event, which was our Christmas tree lighting on Friday. It went very well. Unfortunately, this is the first one I actually have missed because of family obligation, but we did a little follow-up, and it went very well. It was very well attended. I will tell you, we just put the bid out today for the work on the commons, the electrical upgrades on the common. We're hoping to get bids back. The Park Corporation is working with us to solicit bids as well, so we have a good number of electricians to choose from on this. We are getting the refurbished lights. They are going to refurbish the lights. We are having custom poles built to replace the ones that are there, because the ones do need replacing, but they're wood, and you have to get them bored to have the wiring go through. We will find some way. We're doing it as an alternate for the lighting on the library lights, but if we have to do some type of conduit externally once a year for Christmas tree lights, we'll make sure that they can be lit somehow or another, by hook or by crook. Even if I have to run a cord myself, we will light the library.
Robin, will we see a definitive plan on the lights?
It's actually out. So we did have the general presentation the other night on the type of lights, but unfortunately the gentleman was not there. The lights are going exactly where they are. It is we're actually restoring the globes, the globes we have. So that the library ones will be new fixtures that the library board has approved, but the ones on the commons itself should look absolutely no different.
Okay, because somebody mentioned that they thought the lights were going to be shining up.
No, the lights actually
just for the aliens.
No, we are not calling for the aliens. These are actually going to have a little shield inside of them to do better lighting than what we have, because the thing is, we want to save the lights, but we want better lighting at the same time. So these will be LED, obviously more efficient. They have a shield inside of them that aims the light down so it doesn't impact neighbors, but provides better lighting. We're going to replace the 10th light that had been broken. That will be restored.
That's what they were concerned about.
Dimmers on the gazebo. For performances, we'll have dimmer switches, so much more efficient. There will be some disruption likely early on next year when we have to do the trenching. We're going to try to get, depending on New England weather, if we can trench in March, because we're likely not going to get the person in ready to trench before that. And we have, stuff on the commons. So we will, like farmers market, we may have to cordon off little areas for a short time, but they know that our goal is to have all the trench work completed if we can by April. But there are things on that common all year, as you know, so we're gonna have to, there'll be a little disruption, but as limited as possible. But I think it's gonna be worth it to get that. I mean, that's just such a jewel for the town.
May I? Can I just through the chair? I might have a public service announcements, all this talk about Christmas and the holidays, and, did we purchase the gift cards with the ARPA
Yes,
funding?
so-
Okay, so that should be kind of a public
Yeah, so, okay,
announcement.
So we have put out, we did, the heating assistance, and I will say, happily, sadly, we had, a lot of people come forward who needed assistance in town, residents who did need, so we.
We also have the gift cards
So the
though to
gift cards-
Walmart and.
Yes, so the gift cards
people
are purchased, yep.
Maybe you can just say, people who are in need, you don't have to meet an income
No.
requirement. You might just be going through a tough time. We do have gift cards available for people purchased through ARPA for the holiday season. Because I had a resident, a little concerned that she saw a list of all the towns having a food drive and
Yeah,
doing
we're
different
doing this
things.
instead,
And I
yeah.
tried to say, well, we purchase gift cards, but I don't know if the word is out enough, so.
Okay, the oil, yeah, we'll put it out again, the oil, I will tell you, the oil heat word got out very quickly.
But the grocery
But-
stores and the
yes.
gas stations
We have
as well.
had, we've had people come in.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
been, and again, we ask that people respect the spirit of this. We do not put requirements on it. I am not looking at people's incomes. We realize that no matter what you make, you have a mortgage to pay, and it's usually geared toward your income level, and if you hit hard times, you still have to pay your mortgage. However, we do ask that people consider if they truly need this or not. And the spirit of this is for people who are hitting hard times.
No, thank you for that, and thanks, Mary, for bringing that up. So with that, I think we can move on to our public hearing, but the first one is at 6:35. Mary?
Okay, notification is hereby given that an application has been filed by G&L Group LLC doing business as Trail Dusters for new on-premises liquor license, restaurant, all alcohol beverages at the premises currently located at 139 Main Street, Unit 2 in Sturbridge, with the Sturbridge Select Board. In accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, a public hearing will be held on Monday, December 2, 6:35. This hearing is held at Veterans Memorial Hall, Sturbridge Town Hall, second floor, Sturbridge.
All right, great. Come on down.
Good evening, folks. How are you?
Great.
Good. How are you? Hello, hello.
Hello.
All right, so just want to give us a little background on what you're doing?
We're bringing our brand over here to the town of Sturbridge. I've tried to break into this town for years. There's just never been any spaces that we could make this happen in. We've got the space. We've got our approvals. We've got our food. We're ready to go.
Great. All right, so questions from the board?
What kind of what kind of restaurant are you
I
proposing?
brought you all some so y'all could see what we're all about. We're basically bringing how many of y'all are up here? We're bringing the country brand here to Sturbridge. So we have some healthy options if your doctor says to eat healthier. Maybe not eat at Trail Dusters. I mean, we have 16-ounce steaks. We have racks of ribs. We have all kinds of things. So the entire vibe, most of the town knows where that space was here in the Bedrock Plaza. What y'all don't know is we absorbed the entire corner. It's unlike anything you've ever seen, and we're looking forward to the doors being open.
This looks delicious.
So we meeting there next time?
I figured this was the best way to answer questions because I have no idea what everybody likes. So hopefully we've got something on there for everybody.
And I want to thank you. We had some conversations on the phone. We were able to work through things
Yep,
very well.
we got everything right down to
Yep.
a T and handled, all signatures,
So
everything's
thank you.
ready.
Thanks for being a good partner in that.
Oh, no worries. Like I said, I've been trying to get in this town for a while. I ended up going to Ware first because there was nothing in this town. So, but now there is.
And now you're
So
here.
we're here.
All right, other questions from the
You
board?
have garden choices, so you have some, not all,
that's what I meant.
not all red meat.
No, we do have
All right.
everything, but
Yes.
that's not what we feature. So, I mean, there are wonderful other places in town that have some, those type of choices. We have a couple of gluten-free and, a couple of no-meat options. But, we're down home, get your belly on and get full, so.
There it is. All right.
The layout looks great, because I'm sure when people recognize the address, they're gonna think it's the smaller area that was there,
Why the
not
paper has stayed on the
realizing
windows.
it was extended. Also, the manager, you're gonna be the manager, are you TIPS certified?
I am.
Okay. You're gonna be there 50 hours a week?
I am. They're open and closed almost every day, yes.
Wow.
Great.
long day.
When do you hope to open?
Thursday.
Oh, good.
Molly's coming through again tomorrow for a quick walkthrough. Ken and Molly both all been through everything. They gave us the okay on the food. They're gonna shoot for a Wednesday. They're gonna come back in. They thought I was gonna open on Friday. I was like, guys, there's a Thanksgiving holiday. Let's do next week. So we're opening Thursday.
For you.
All right, anything else from the board? All right, well, this is a public hearing, so does anybody in the audience have anything they'd like to say? All right. So do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Great, all those in favor? Ayes have it.
Okay.
Okay,
Now, on the liquor license, though,
it's in the action items, right?
yeah,
So why don't we, yeah, let's just do A and B now. So just for, people in the audience, one is just the liquor license, the other is a live entertainment license. What hours are you running live entertainment, do you think?
Usually Friday and Saturday nights, probably from like 5 to say 9. And it's all acoustic, no like rock bands with drum kits. And we're just, when you see the space, you'll know why. It's just some nice dinner type stuff.
Gotcha. All right, so do we have a motion on action item A, which is consideration and possible action on an application for a common victualler license for trail dusters?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
second.
All those in favor? All right, and then moving to consideration and possible action on an application for a live entertainment license for trail dusters.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Great. All right, well, welcome to Sturbridge.
Welcome, good luck.
Hope to see each one of you down there at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you do the common vic?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, no, I didn't do the common vic, I did the liquor license. No, I just did the common vic, we didn't do the
Yeah.
liquor license.
We did the
We
entertainment.
did entertainment.
We did the common vic and entertainment, but not the liquor license.
Right.
So we have a, do we have a motion on the liquor license?
Well, on the liquor license now, you won't have it by Thursday, will you?
No, probably not. It has to go to the state.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's your intention before then?
To open without a liquor license.
Yes.
No BYOB.
No BYOB.
No BYOB.
Great. All right, so do we have a motion on the liquor license?
Make a motion to approve the application for a liquor license for Trail Dusters, Inc.
Okay.
All right, all those in favor? Great. Now welcome to Sturbridge. All right, thank you so
Hey,
much,
good
guys.
luck.
You can take the minutes back.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Good luck.
Good luck. Have fun.
All right, moving to the 640 public hearing, Mary?
In accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 132, Sections 40 to 46, the Select Board of the Town of Sturbridge will hold a public hearing on the petition of Craig Masterman, Yankee Woodlands, for a forest cutting plan for 25 acres on 7 Ladd Road, Sturbridge, owned by Andrew and Laura McHugh. The hearing will be held on Monday, December 2, at 6:40, Sturbridge Town Hall, Veterans Memorial Hall, second floor.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How's it going?
Hi, this is a property on Ladd Road I've had under management for over 10 years now. Originally, I was hired by David Barnacle and Patricia Barnacle to prepare a forest management plan back in 2013, which we did. And subsequent to that, we did a thinning of low-quality hardwoods and firewood and some pulpwood off the woodlot in 2014. And since that time, the response is something I would characterize no less than spectacular in terms of we have a cohort of oak and pine seedlings anywhere between 2 and 10 feet tall now that seeded into the openings we created then. They're tall enough so they're above the deer, so there hasn't been much deer predation. The crowns have since started to close in, and pine and oak, they do well at the outset in some partial shade, but as they progress, up around head high, they really need a little more sunlight to thrive. The oak a little more so than the pine. But so we've marked another timber sale to remove some of the overstory. The way I described it to Laura and Andrew McHugh, the current owners, Laura's the daughter of the Barnacles. She and her sister inherited the land, and then Lauren bought out her sister, so it's Andrew and Lauren own the land now. And I just updated the management plan for them, and under that plan, I recommended timber sale of the sort that I marked and prepared, and submitted a Chapter 132 cutting plan, which was approved by DCR Forester Jacob Seidel. So I've also been on the ground with Lauren Vivier, and she's happy with what she saw out there. And we're anxious to get going on the timber sale.
Great. All right, questions from the board?
Yes, you're not clearing this land completely.
Absolutely not. No, they're under Chapter 61. They have to maintain a long-term commitment to forest health and growth.
Okay.
Yeah. They get a nice tax break on the property for that, so.
Great. All right, well, this is a public hearing. Questions from the crowd? No? All right. All right, do we have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Great. All right, do we have a motion on the forest cutting plan?
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve the forest cutting plan for 25 acres of land on 7 Lad Road, Sturbridge, Mass. 01566, owned by Andrew and Laura McHugh, with our usual stipulations. Do you know what they are?
I do. I've worked in Sturbridge before. I'm familiar with the local bylaw.
Okay.
Sunrise, sunset, and all that.
School buses,
Holidays, all of that, yeah. Half days on Saturdays.
nothing on
The
Sundays.
$20,000 bond for Heather.
Know the drill.
You got 'em?
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
yeah.
Okay.
Great, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Great, thank you so much.
All right, great.
Happy holidays.
All right, we're moving on to action items. We are up to C, which is consideration and possible action on the appeal for water and sewer connection fees for the property located at 698 Main Street, Sturbridge, by Jeremy Procon, Interstate Going Incorporated. Come on in.
Don't have any menus.
Yeah.
You're no fun, you don't bring any fun stuff.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, would you please tell us a little bit about your appeal?
So, so we came to this town in 2018, and we were leasing at 201 Charlton, and for a short period of time, we moved over to 243 Main Street, I forget the address, up the road here. It was Craig Moran's old property, and I was supposed to buy that property, and we were gonna kind of rehab it, and it was a blighted property, and I was excited to clean it and make it something better. Moved over here, just give you a quick short history of who we are and why we're here. Moved over to 201 Charlton. The property sold to a guy named Mike Frisbee, who I ended up becoming partners with in car wash world. We're good friends to this day. We didn't do this project together, but I've been along the ride the whole time. He's kicking us out in a good way. And we don't need a high visibility property like that. So him and I got together and I said, I'll identify another piece of property in the town or Charlton or Brimfield and set up shop there. So that's what we did. We sought out to identify a piece of property in this general area. But I thoroughly enjoyed Sturbridge, and I didn't want to go to Charlton or Brimfield. One stop was for sale, and there was a property in Charlton for sale. But we really wanted to stay in Sturbridge for a few different reasons. We tow for the police department, we don't tow for Charlton or Brimfield, but we tow for Sturbridge. Chiefs have been great, town's been great. We identified a piece of property at 198 Charlton Road in Sturbridge. It cost me about $50,000 to $60,000 to get told it didn't work. Con said, this isn't gonna work. I mean, you can make anything work for the right amount of money, but it wasn't worth it. I'd have to build an island with literally 100-foot walls, 50-foot walls, 1,000 feet around to block the wetlands, raise the property. It wasn't worth it. So I licked my wounds and moved on. We identified, it had to be industrial property, so we identified 698 Main Street in Sturbridge. Fortunately, it was in Sturbridge. I thought it was in Brimfield when I drove down there, but it was in Sturbridge, so it was a breath of fresh air. Bought it, and then came the hard part, was permitting it with SHAPS, the State Highway State Highway Access Permit System, the Massachusetts DOT. Building on a mass highway is daunting. However, we bought it. I wasn't anticipating the the amount of hassle we've been through, not with Sturbridge, but with SHAPS. So we started this project over 2 years ago, 698 Main Street, purchased the property, just went full throttle into the piece of property, hired a general contractor. Fortunately, I had the town of Sturbridge behind me. Heather, Robin, Jean have been awesome, pushing this through. Rep Samoa, been pushing this through, really getting this, the state to move forward with SHAPS. CMG, they've been great as well. However, we budgeted for this, so I'm already 50, 60 grand behind because of that 198 Charlton Road. Shame on me. Move on to 698. Way over budget. SHAPS, the time, Mike Frisbee trying to kick me out. It's been over 2 years. We finally get to the point where we can connect our water, and it wasn't Sturbridge, it was SHAPS. It was the access permit. Finally get the thumbs up in June of 2024 to go ahead and cut the road. And they said, so I ran to Sturbridge, I ran to Heather, and she said, well, we have to pull our permits. I'm like, oh my God. So June to now, we finally got our blessing to cut the road. We did. At any point in this entire project, was I ever expecting, for argument's sake, $50,000 permit? I just wasn't. I'm way over budget as it is. I broke down some of my cost, which I knew before we even started this project. We were $80,000 for sewer, $80,000 for water, which is $160,000. That turned out to be $193,873. So a little bit over budget, but 10% is acceptable. So our total fees, so CMG Environmental, just to access water and sewer, I had Dave Face break out engineering for of course, the town and more importantly, SHAPS, was $26,811. That's CMG designing the sewer and the water, $26,811. $261,584 is my total cost to turn the water on, plus a water bill, plus a sewer bill for the rest of my life. But I'll break it down. $26,811 for engineering, $193,873 for site work. And of course, you broke it down for me.
Yeah, nice. I did.
Plus the...
$500 for the meter. And then the water and sewer fee bill, which we weren't expecting, was $40,400. And a lot of that was based on the calculation of
No, that's just the
the
sewer.
privilege fee.
That's just sewer, $40,400
Yeah.
plus the water.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all included.
Where's the 8,300?
It's included in the 40.
Oh, it is. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah, I look at these as two different numbers. I'm looking at a number that's $40,400
We got to
for
check for
sewer
48.
and
Yeah.
$8,800 for
40,300.
water.
Water.
So, hey, add it on.
Yeah, well, right, just tack on another, $8,300. The big, obviously it's a huge nut for any business to crack, especially when you're really breaking out. We want to be a part of the community. The betterment and privilege fee is obviously one of the calculation that you guys have, we just feel like is very inaccurate. It does not have a good depiction of what our usage is going to be.
So real world, we were calculated, and I don't know, maybe Heather can help out.
Second.
GPD would be gallons per day. They have us estimated at, what did I see?
715 gallons per day. I don't know if you've ever drank 715 gallons.
We don't have any showers, we have 2 bathrooms, but we have 2 employees there full-time. So 715 gallons a day is out of control. What I did was I took we have a large building in Chicopee where all of our trucks go, all of our employees go, fully staffed. Wash bay, not including the wash bay, separate, but offices, very, very similar to what this is gonna be, but you take 16 employees and bring it down to 2. What I'm getting at is Chicopee has 16 employees any given time. It's our headquarters. It's 10,000 square feet, and we're averaging 16 gallons per day. And I have the bills to prove it, all the invoices, of course, 16 gallons a day. We have a facility in Westfield, super comparable to this. It's 698 Main Street, 7,500 square feet. We're running 3 dispatchers a day. The drivers are pretty much on the road, but they do come back. Very similar to our Westfield facility, 10 gallons per day for the past 4 years on average, 10 gallons per day. No showers, and that's with washing trucks there too. I can't even imagine 715 gallons per day at, Wendy's or any Dunkin' Donuts or any kind of high volume, City Hall, the school. I couldn't even imagine, an elementary school at 800 gallons per day. So I'm not sure where that came from. It's
So in a nutshell, it's the 715 gallons per day is just not accurate. It's not an accurate picture of what we will be using. So to charge us a fee based on an inaccurate representation is just really, we don't feel is very fair.
Okay.
Especially when we're well over costs. And it's a big nut. We're going to have a lot of employees we're going to be involved in the community. We're going to be here. We're going to be supporting you guys. We want to work with you, and we just hope you guys can work with us on at least making everything fair.
Okay. So, wait,
in layman's terms, we have 2 bathrooms for the employees. You have to have a men's and a women's by code for the employees, and then we have a gender neutral bathroom. All 3, I can't imagine all 3 ever being used at the same time, but no showers. It's just a toilet and a sink. And we opted for the air dryers. That doesn't consume water, but.
okay. Well, so questions from the board to begin with. Anybody have it?
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Yeah, but
Okay.
my question is more geared toward how we did.
Me too. How did we
Yeah,
That's where
calculate
we're gonna go. So Heather, give you to
the
speak to it.
715?
So I didn't even calculate it, first of all. It was calculated by their engineer. I asked him to provide, so our bylaw states in the bylaw that you estimate the EDUs based on Title V, if there isn't a building already there to determine it, right? So it's based on Title V. He gave that Title V calculation to me of the gallons per day, came right from them. The gallons per day then gets divided by the 200 gallons per day per EDU, which is what we use as our basis for a residential home. EDU is equivalent dwelling units. So it's all stated in the bylaw how you do it for a commercial type property. And that's how and then it says to round up to the next highest EDU. So that's where the 4 EDUs came from. And I will say, the engineer did it per Title V. Per Title V, it has a minimum usage for office area, and then it has a minimum usage per bay of a garage, which is the way that yours was clarified. So 750 gallons a day would be what you would design a Title V septic system for. And it is, I will say it from an engineering standpoint, it is an overestimate. It's not really an expected use. It is an overestimate.
It's a capacity, so it's a capacity estimate?
It's a capacity estimate.
So you said Title V has a minimum
So
for
it has
office and a minimum for a garage?
per bay of a garage, correct?
Okay, so is this consistent with a minimum or not, the 715 gallons?
That is consistent with putting the minimum per design rate in for Title V.
Oh, you're saying this is the minimum?
So, correct. So basically, Title V says, and don't quote me on the numbers, but it says if you had 1,000 square feet of office space, you take that, times it by 20 gallons per day per square foot, and it becomes how much you have. But when you do that, there is a minimum amount that you can put. So if that number was 10 and it was only 20 gallons per day, you can't design a Title V system for 20. You have to design it for 200 for office.
So I guess may I ask a question?
Of course, yeah.
I guess what I get a little confused with is when, they're talking about their other facilities, and, I mean, it's just
It's
astronomically less.
I have another good example.
Hold on, how did those end up passing this Title V hoop by their engineers?
That's based on state law and state.
No, I know, and these are Westfields in Massachusetts, and I just wonder.
But those are all definitely on water and sewer too. They're
Not
not
on
designed septic. So state law for Title V is only regarding, it's how you design when you don't have. It gives a basis. It's like, this is your baseline, if you don't have any information, this is what you use for a baseline.
Your other facilities aren't on sewer, they were only on water?
This is sewer, and those are both sewer. Everything's apples to apples.
They're not on septic.
It is apples to apples.
Hold on. There's a lot of free talk going here, so Mary has questions.
I still don't understand, and I know you can't speak to other facilities, because, you weren't on it, but I just wonder, because Title V is statewide, it's the statewide code.
It's statewide for septic, and it gives a baseline. It doesn't look at what other facilities are doing in actuality. They took all their information, and the state said, and where they got their numbers, they say it's 110 gallons per bedroom, okay? And they say it's per, so we can't argue numbers of what the state code is.
We're going to posit for the sake of this conversation that everything they're saying about their other facilities is accurate, and so right now first let's define what our ability to have any wiggle room is, to the extent we have it, because a lot of this is technical. So let's just simplify some basics here. So I understand this is that this is a capacity number. This isn't the real number, but this is how you have to categorize following state law. This is.
It's an accurate representation of what Title V
states. And that's fair to say that's consistent with your engineering guys?
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
So what I'm trying.
Have your engineers, go ahead.
What were you gonna say?
So what I just want to say is, the state has standards for garage bays and office space. It's very different than a tow facility. So we have garage bays for certain wrecks. So if there's a fatality, that has to be stored in a garage bay, and that space cannot be touched, that entire bay. That's not used, it's just stored. It's storage space. It's kind of a quasi garage bay versus storage facility where it's blank space. And it's office space, but they're dispatchers. They're in and out. And when someone calls in, our Chicopee office picks up. It's not people where there's a million cubicles. So yes, we have the space for the office, but it's not your traditional office versus garage bay.
No, I think we understand. So I think
we really welcome you to visit any of our facilities.
No. So here's the issue, and we're not. The trick with the water and sewer abatements is that they're tough because one, it's expensive across the line, and it can be a little draconian at times. It can be tough on people.
You need to be uniform.
Yeah, and so the questions that I guess where we have to be very deliberate is not about what the use is. Everything you're saying makes sense.
Yeah.
It's where is the structure on it as it relates to state law, and water and sewer is a very expensive proposition on the line. So I don't think everybody here empathizes with what you guys are dealing with. We get it. There's people who own businesses on it. We totally hear you.
Yeah.
It's just, but we're trying to figure out what we can do and how to be fair. So to that, Heather, this is, and because it sounds like this is consistent with what your engineer is saying. So it doesn't seem like there's a dispute there. Am I wrong?
So I didn't dispute his calculations the way he gave them to me, but what you guys just explained of how you use the bay could mean that we could look back at it and say, can we consider this a cold storage space as opposed to a traditional garage? Because they're not using it to repair cars, right? That might have more cleanup and more, cars in and out, have to clean up, wash the floors, whatever, to treatment if they're using it more as cold storage, maybe we look at that area that's the storage and recalculate Title V based on storage, which is a lot less than a garage bay. So that we can do, because we have all that numbers, we can look at the areas and I can do that. We do that calculation and see if that decreases the Title V number, which is what you determine what the equivalent dwelling number's off of, which my gut feeling is saying it could go down considerably.
Okay.
So instead of 4, it could be 2.
Well, it is,
Which would be half the
go ahead.
price.
Do you mind if I just ask a question of you, and just to get it clear on record, because we do see these abatements? You're not disputing the commercial connection fee of $7,000, and you're not disputing the sewer connection fee of $10,000. It's that betterment number that you feel an issue with.
It stings, but
Yeah.
I did some loose calls to find out who charges what in the area, and this Sturbridge is the highest, but I just want to get up and running. So I just for the record, I did cut the checks for the
Yeah, he's paid.
$50,000 just to get up
No,
and running.
just trying to understand the abatement more as far as what.
Yeah. And
That's all in our bylaws, right?
Correct.
yeah, that's part of your, hey, I chose to come here, you guys have it in the rules, it stings to write the checks, but I signed up for it. What I wasn't expecting was to be categorized at 800 gallons a day, which is
No,
Which is a lot.
that's a lot. That's very good.
So obviously, we can't abate based on the fact that Sturbridge has expensive privilege fees compared to other towns. I mean, and you already acknowledged that that's not a basis.
I'm here tonight to help.
Right, no, I get it.
With common sense.
Right, but what Heather is saying is something that would distinguish you from other businesses coming forward, because, our problem is, every business, we can't be in a position, well, you offered them an abatement because you thought that they had a really useful
No,
business
I'm asking.
being towing. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody else will come forward and say, well, we're offering this. But I just want to go back to what she was, because I would support re-examining it. My question is, how come your engineer didn't take that into account when he came, or she came up with the numbers? In other words, I almost feel like our DPW director was willing to accept your engineer's figures, and I feel like the starting point should be for you to explain to your engineer that, we're willing to look at it a different way, but maybe you need to base the numbers on a certain percentage of that property.
Right.
I hate to call it storage, because now I know the reason that you have to leave it alone, so I don't want to go there, but it's something that can't be used, and maybe your engineer should also re-examine the data that was supplied, and then that will make it a little bit easier.
But that's a cost item, so I would say that.
But it would, okay, but it'll make it a little
I would say,
easier for
why
us.
don't we start before if we start asking them to spend more money, that we see Heather take a look at it, see if there's flexibility in it. We continue this for now. We totally hear you guys, and we'll do what we can. No promises, like just we can't. This is not an easy area for us, and do a lot.
Right,
It's kind of our meaner area, I'll be honest.
No,
So.
it's certainly a different situation. I mean, and the problem beginning with the Charlton Road address, going forward with that, and then all of a sudden Concom said
That was,
no,
yeah.
and then having to. So I think there's more expense involved in this project than some other projects that have come in. They haven't run into such problems.
Thank you for.
Main Street,
For recog-
Charlton Street. Too many names for
Up
the
and down
same.
Route 20.
Yeah,
Route 20.
same place.
So with
And
that,
it seems like these other facilities must have used different figures.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to keep
Yeah, listen,
comparing, but
but-
they're so different.
I-
No, but maybe they were viewed the way you're looking at it now.
And they probably don't have it based on a Title V EDU. Not all communities base their water and sewer fees on that.
yeah.
So
I-
if their fee structure doesn't have anything to do with Title V, they would never have had these type of calculations.
It's still useful to see what kind of water and sewer these type of businesses use. It is.
Yeah, well, let's stay, I think we just stay on topic for the moment, and that, I think, is, we're gonna hold this. Heather, please just kind of see what you can do within reason, don't go crazy. But and see if we can create some optionality here and then we just kind of go from there.
But for the record, the reason we're here tonight is not to ask for anything. If the dog license are X, we pay the dog license.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
not asking-
sure.
But we don't want to be charged a kennel fee.
No, everything you're saying makes sense, we get it.
trying to-
We just want to be fair.
Just
No,
count-
no,
just
we
a little
appreciate
bit.
that, and that's what this process is for. Sorry, great, so we'll probably table this till, what's the
December 16th.
16th? And Heather, does that work for you? Okay, great. All right, so we're gonna move on, thanks guys for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
Oh, we'll see you before the next one. Or you might say,
They like
Okay.
to say bah humbug to you.
So okay, we are moving on to the proposed zoning bylaw, action item D.
So this is anytime we have a zoning bylaw, you all have to vote to approve it to go to planning.
To go back.
To go back, this is a pro forma vote to say, yep, planning can take a look at it and then send it back to you.
It's always,
So the first one, just kind of going in order, at 318-1 is changed, the bylaw should be enforced by the building inspector, not the board of selectmen. Any questions about that?
nope.
All right, moving on. All right, so I think the accessory dwelling units, this is an alteration that occurred because of the change in Massachusetts
Yes.
law? Is this just straight up pulling in Mass law?
This is all just to ensure that we are in compliance with mass law.
All right, any
And,
questions on the Article 11? All right, then we're going on to, again, I think the changes on page, well, I guess this is 46, but that's, is, the same point, it's just about
Yep.
Massachusetts law.
Yep.
All right, moving to page 47. This is the rural districts, and again,
This is all,
this
yes.
is all the accessory dwelling.
Yep,
Mm.
yep.
Is there anything else that is not the
No, I believe it is
statute?
all accessory dwelling from there, non-conforming use.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then it's just the meeting minutes. I mean, if it's all state law, it's state law. I mean, it's not a lot to do about it. Questions, thoughts, concerns?
No.
Complaints about the chair of that board?
But he cooks a mean turkey.
Yeah. All right, so do we have a,
Okay, I'll make a motion then that we pass on the proposed zoning amendments back to the planning board.
do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Great. All right, revised job description on the facilities manager. So this went through personnel?
This went through personnel. I apologize, I left it color-coded just so you could see, because there were some areas that were cut out and areas that were added. It's just to more properly reflect what the job actually does, clarify that it doesn't have an OPM role, for example, and just some cleanup language removed.
That it doesn't?
Does not have an OPM role. And that it, some of the cleanup language that, for instance, you know, it now oversees like green communities, things like that. So this job, when it was created and the person was hired, it was under a different town administrator, and I think he had sort of a different vision for it. It has changed a little bit, just by virtue of it growing and by virtue of changes in my chair, between interims and myself. And this just more accurately reflects what the job does. And it clears up, it had been a coordinator, we clarified that it is a facilities manager. There was a change, and I didn't catch it, and I don't think personnel caught it, but it technically was listed as 37 hours a week, it's now listed at 35, but I will say it is an on-call job, so the person does come in on weekends or nights as needed, so it technically changes the hourly wage, but what the person is getting paid, you know, is not changing. Technically, if on a week that there's no on-call, that person would only work 35 hours, but realistically, the person does work 40 hours some weeks too, so. That was a change that I did not catch, and I don't think personnel caught, but it was on the description change. I just want to be open about that.
I don't know if this is one of the meetings I missed, but in that first line under summary,
Yep.
it should be ensures.
Oh, yeah. It is expensive. Oh, we all missed that one, wow. The facilities manager ensures, yes, yep.
And then on the last page, second paragraph.
I may have missed some, Mary, from when we did this, because I went through and redid them.
Second paragraph, sorry, the employee may regularly perform, doesn't need the S.
Yep, I made that change and I missed it,
okay.
yep, you're right, yep.
All right, with those ministerial changes, does anybody have any questions, comments, thoughts, concerns about the, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the revised job description for facilities manager.
Second.
All those in favor? Excellent. All right, moving on to action item F. I might just read these out loud, and if somebody has an issue, just let me know.
These have all, and Michelle will confirm, these have all been signed off on by every appropriate department in the chain, so these are just sort of the move forward ones.
All right, and this is the only time I'm reading this, so pay attention.
You'd always have somebody else read it.
That's all right. Consideration and possible action on signing the 2025 license renewals for the following businesses: Enrico's Brick Oven Pizza, Condesa Restaurante and Tequila Bar, Hamilton Rod and Gun Club, Gito's Brick Oven Pizza, Fred's Variety and Package Store, McNuck's Fresh Market, Sturbridge Host Hotel, Economy Lodge, National Entertainment for Walmart, Shaw's and Subway, La Canita Inn and Suites, Hamilton Inn, Whoop-De-Doo and Cupcakes 2, Wendy's, Dunkin' Donuts, Annie's Country Kitchen, BT Smokehouse, Old Sturbridge Village, Empire Village, Kaizen Restaurant, the Public House, Sam's Food Store, Cedar Street Cafe, Cedar Street Grill, the Barn at White Farm, the Whistling Swan, Avellino and the Duck, Steve Jinky, the DBA Spotlight Auto, Sturbridge Gas, Tutti Quanti, Applebee's, Yankee Spirits, Old Village Grill, Panera Bread, Sturbridge Coffee House LLC, Subway, Deep Roots Distillery, Pilot Travel Center, Cinnabon, Subway number 222, Fireworks Motel, Rapscallion, Thai Place, Lucky Mart, Extra Mart, American Legion, Sturbridge Seafood, Sturbridge Porterhouse, and Holiday Inn Express. Any concerns from the board with any of those?
Can you
No,
repeat those?
Now I'm hungry.
Are there more to come in?
Yeah, they're in, but
Yeah,
so you will have more, we're just trying to get them through
Out
as we get them,
soon.
yeah. There'll be another batch.
Once I have all the sign-offs and everything.
Yeah, we're still waiting on a few sign-offs on some of them.
Yeah.
So anything that was signed off by today, or by the other day for the agenda, boom, got in here. The rest will be on for the 16th.
Okay, so I'll make a motion that we sign the licenses for the preceding list.
All right, I'll second that. All in favor? Great. All right, moving on. Consideration and possible action to authorize the chair to sign the contract with Ty and Bond for the Wells Park Road culvert replacement in the amount of $85,400. So what's going on here, Robin?
Ellen had to go on that one.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Okay. So this is one of, this is actually an ARPA project that I think there was 70?
I believe it was
$70,000 that was set aside. We got a engineering proposal from Ty and Bond. It's a little bit over, but I can use our road improvement funds. This is a problem culvert, so I'll be happy to get it designed and addressed so we can get it funded, which eventually we could use our road funds, our Chapter 90 funds to do the replacement. So, but this gets us to through design and permitting so that we'll have an idea what the cost is going to be. This is the one that if you have been down there where Falls Road comes in, it floods right in there. So this is going to be a pretty substantial size increase for the size of the culvert, and they're looking at that one and the one that goes across Falls Road. We'll improve that whole area and hopefully prevent some of that flooding that we've seen historically in that location, so.
Great. All right, questions from the board?
No, that was my question, where's the money?
And it does really flood, because I've.
Oh, yeah, it's a serious area.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to authorize the chair to sign the contract with Ty and Bond for the Wells Park Road culvert replacement in the amount of $85,400.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Great. Thanks, Heather.
Thank you, Heather.
You too, yeah. Okay. That, all right, on to old business. Mary Blanchard.
None.
Barry Dowling.
Yes, I just want to ask, how are we doing on the roughly 1,000 homes that need to be looked at for their water, to see, if their water connection is lead? How are we doing on that? How many houses have we gone to at this
For
point?
the lead.
I wasn't going to involve you,
That I don't know the answer to. I don't know how many we've done.
So I'm not sure how many, I know we've gotten emails in, because I see those, they send them to me so that I can enter them into the system. I know they did inspections all last week, and there isn't very many inspections this week, but I would encourage people that if they're, to call, and I also actually thank you, because it's a good opportunity for me to give a little pitch. Some people have got the letter and go, oh, my system's not lead, I don't need to worry about it, I didn't know it's copper. Actually, we need to know that. So we need to actually have it on a list that it's been reported and confirmed to be copper. So if you have gotten the letter, and you can follow the steps in the letter, or you can call us and we'll come out, or you can send an email to myself or Shane with what your address is and attach a picture. That's all work as documenting it. I know they've been to at least 30. And again, we haven't found any lead.
That's what it was, my next question.
We haven't found any lead. I did have somebody report that it was lead last week, and I kind of freaked out and called the water department, like, you have to call them right now and get in there and confirm that it really is lead. I don't think it's lead based on the picture. And it wasn't, but there was a misinterpretation there. So we are not saying that we think you have lead. We don't believe we have very many, if any, lead services in the town. It's very possible. We have some very old houses, so it still is possible. But we do want to confirm that it is copper or galvanized, which we're also concerned about galvanized. It would be a program to replace the galvanized eventually too, or lead, or plastic. You could have plastic coming in also. So it's very important that we know what the service material coming into your property is. So please take the time and follow the instructions on the letter, or go ahead and give us a call. Either way works.
So you haven't found it, are you notifying them that they're coming back as copper? Are you letting the residents know after you inspect them?
We can send them emails after, based on the,
Yeah, I think rather than just, no news is good news, but
Right.
I think that you should send a follow-up email saying, we checked it and it's copper.
For the people that are doing it electronically, when they're there in the field, they're telling them verbally.
Okay.
Yeah. For the people that are submitting an electronic and don't know whether it's copper or not, we can follow right back up with them. The ones that were already unknown or lead have already been, we've been out to the sites personally, called, because people are giving their phone numbers or their emails in that electronic. If you've done it, it prompts you to enter information like your email, your phone number, who to contact, so that we can reach back out.
Great.
So anybody who said, like you said, lead, or didn't know, we've contacted and clarified, so.
Great.
Thanks.
All right.
Excellent. All right, Mary, anything?
Thanks,
any other-
Heather.
Chase, old business?
Nothing for me, thank you.
Mary Lou, old business?
Nothing from me.
All right, new business. Mary Lou?
Nothing.
Chase?
No new, thank you.
Mary Dowling?
No.
Mary Blanchard?
No.
Correspondence? I don't think we had any. And I don't think we have any minutes to approve. All right, so citizens forum.
They're all gone.
Ran them all out.
Oh, I ran them all out. All right, Mary, you want to read the?
I'll move to go into executive session pursuant to General Laws, Chapter 38, Section 21, Paragraph A3, to discuss strategy relating to pending litigation in the case known as Kerboy Auto Inc., Sturbridge Conservation Commission, Worcester Superior Court, Civil Action Number 2385CV00877. If the chair declares that discussing the matter in an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the board, a vote regarding whether to go into executive session is expected, and votes may occur during the executive session, and not to reconvene in open session.
Okay, great. Mary Lou, how do you vote?
Yes.
Chase?
Yes.
Mary Dowling?
Yes.
Mary Blanchard?
Yes.
And I vote yes, and I so declare.
I will also move to go into executive session pursuant to General Laws, Chapter 38, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy relating to potential litigation, request for superseding OODEP file number 300 to 1200, West Charlton, 415L3 Solar Interconnection Project. If the chair declares that discussing the matter in an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the board, a vote regarding whether to go into executive session is expected, and votes may occur during the executive session, and not to reconvene in open session.
So declared. Mary Lou, how do you vote?
Yes.
Chase?
Yes.
Mary Dowling?
Yes.
Mary Blanchard?
Yes.
And I vote yes. All right, now,